Всем
Hello
привет!
everyone, good evening. So, let's start our today's webinar. Today is Thursday and I am with you. I am Natalia Turan and I would like to start our today's webinar with a piece of news. It's about astromelanin. As you know, since this February, our company has been producing astromelanin. There was a recent article about melanin, a very interesting one. We have translated it, and it was very good information for international subscribers because the skin problem is getting more and more popular over time. So, the first nuclear magnetic resonance testing data of astromelanin have been received, one of the samples. We are going to decipher it soon. 4 samples will be there, derived from melanin from grown raw materials. It's not very clear, but nuclear magnetic resonance is spectroscopy and chemical objects investigation method using the nuclear magnetic resonance. And it finds into the particle composition of chemical compositions. Now we are studying melanin from different strains. This is a nuclear magnetic resonance device in order to define the antioxidant activities of various samples. Here you go. So the analysis has been done, and next week, as Evgeny told me today, there will be melanin, astromelanin, which would be derived from those samples, and its substrate is going to be produced. Indeed, it takes a lot of time to market astromelanin, but 70 years are behind us, and I'm confident that the major part of that journey has already been traveled. So, my presentation tonight is about the following. As you know, we began investing in August 2019, and when Evgeny asked me to participate in those investments, I didn't say yes right from the start because that biomed topic has to be investigated further. So that biotech industry is a complex thing. Our international investors, they suggest that we should expand our portfolio, and they are talking about real estate investments, property, and other things, including space technologies. But why have we opted for that? We need to know that. We need to understand that. Because venture capital is in biotech. A lot of venture capital is there. It's booming now, and you know that. But I can tell you that I can show you one thing. It's very big. It was not possible for me to take a screenshot. Let me share my screen with you. Well, look. We are speaking about various investment stages overall in venture enterprises and startup companies. And here there is a 12-year statistics. And you can see, can you see my screen? Just tell me yes or no. Sorry for that, I'm going to post it once again. You know, we talked about very modest figures. Back in 2018, allergen therapy or therapeutics has got $412 million from that funding. This is 319, 312, 285. And these are big figures. The smallest figure that we have statistically chosen, you can see $67 million. It was collected back in 2010. And now, by statistics, the year 2020 was very successful in terms of development of that economic sector, because very many companies bought startup companies and developments. I'm getting back to you. If we compare it with the real property investment, both real property and medications have been growing in price all the time. We know that. But they would not grow to such a momentum. At the A stage, 412 million, a huge amount of money. Of course, people who invest $412 million, you need to be sure of what you do. That sector of economy has been developing. Why? Because of the aging population. This is the first point. Secondly, there have been new diseases and pathologies. I'm not going to talk about that, but speaking about medical drugs, our company is setting just one goal: to be environmentally friendly in producing our products. Before I began doing presentations, I translated for a company into English, and there was a balsam, a Russisch balsam by its composition, because this is one of the products of the company, and this is a very powerful composition. Later on, we have dived deeper into that, and a lot has been said about it during our presentations, and that product has been marketed since August 2019. And now, 2 years after, there is a product which has been tested by our consumers, customers, and the e-shop has been launched. And there is a new marketing team working with us for a month now. It is more advanced, and we'll see bigger sales. Especially now when there is a colder season, flu season, this is a good product and it's useful, and those who used it know that. And our marketing people would further market it. This is a very environmental product, and you can see its environmental nature in its leaflet or operating manual. If we take aspirin that we add, C vitamin aspirin, it has 2 pages of contradictions or counter or after effects. But this is just aspirin. But speaking about the safety, I'm going to share my screen with you. Well, speaking about the safety, without going into detail, we took a similar product that also helps against cancer. This is Humira from AbbVie. 10 years the preparation has been marketed, and this total worth of sales is $100 billion. You can see that our planet is having a disastrous cancer situation and immunity problems, and that preparation is not only against cancer, it has multiple actions, but what are the side effects? Infections, new formations. So if a person is treated against cancer, he could have other things, and not very good ones, from blood and lymphatic system, from immune system, metabolism, psychic disorders, neural system, lots of things like a headache or whatever. So, look, this is not an exhaustive list from your feeling organs, from cardiovascular system, digestive, breathing, muscular skeleton, and this is not all. A lot of things, and side effects. That medical drug is negatively reflected on other things, and the task of such pharmaceuticals is to kill cancer cells, but at the same time they kill other things. So let's not talk about bad things. This is not a bad drug, but still, I would say a few words about estromelanin that our company is marketing. We will do that. Estromelanin has no side effects. It has no toxic. How shall I say that? It is not toxic. It stops. I wouldn't use medical language, but it does stop development of cancer cells after the sixth use or admission. So they have no side effects. And since 1966, the research has been there since that time, and there was no negative side effect observed over the last 55 years. Why am I telling you this? For you to know that we are really investing into something useful, into the development of that sector of the economy, which is very popular for many investors. And now you can see on the slide other figures, more modest ones. This is the amount of sales of various companies in 2020, including Humira drug. This is $19.2 billion. This is a very good figure. The smallest figure here is nearly 5 billion. So my friends, those of you who have been with us for a long time and already invested in us, you can easily feel a little bit Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, or Warren Buffett, as they have already invested a lot of money into biotech. This sector of the economy would continue developing. Pharmaceutical drugs will always grow in price, and the competition here is huge. The previous list testified to that fact too. And the cancer drugs account for 11% of the entire market, including supportive therapy. But our pharmaceutical would have a big advantage because it is non-toxic, has no side effects, and now we are staying on the verge of its real production. It's really cool, and this is the best moment to increase your portfolio significantly because the time is running and the pharmaceutical is being tested, and these researchers are not standing idle. You all know that we are working with Moscow University laboratory and a few biotech and chemists, experts for whom melanin and yeast are a bigger part of their life. And our research is in trusted hands. We have no doubt about it. Why am I telling you this? Back in 2023, in 18 or 24 months' times, the spending for cancer drugs, equipment, and other things would reach $240 billion per year, and UFG is among those investing into the development of those pharmaceuticals. What are you interested in the most? When we buy something, we want to know what do we get as a result. There are two company development scenarios that I have just already mentioned. First of all, when our development is just one of our products that we invest in, when we put it into the market, and even if the sales volume is $8 billion, this is the average, $8 billion. The net profit would be $4 billion because the other half is for tax and expenses, and it's $1.60 per share of UFG, provided that all 100% of profit would be distributed to all participatory shares. Even if we decrease that amount by 10 times, we get 16 cents per share. And during the last presentation, I mentioned the fact that it's 8 times 8x you get. No, it's about 13, 14, 15. And for the very first investors, much more. And look, your annual profit from today's investments, if our development hits the market, which is unrivaled, non-toxic, needed for all people, your dividends would be $18,880 per year, given the fact that you have a $1,000 package. So it's 118,000 shares of our company. So I do recommend you to increase your investment packages. Next, if we are interested in a merger with another bigger company, as you saw at the previous slides and here, many buyers would be interested. Major pharmaceutical companies are interested in startup companies because they have lots of advantages. This is a chance to get a certain niche. This is a way to come to a new regional market and get innovative developments in the very beginning of investment stage. Though major companies are looking for such startup companies like us. There are lots of medical exhibitions all over the world. You cannot imagine how many medical exhibitions are taking place in various countries of the world. And last year, the many companies have been acquired, and the lowest amount of money which was paid for such a company is $1.8 billion, and 39 billion was the most expensive one. You can see that on the slide. And there were other amounts, and this is an investment, and major companies are interested in that. So, if we take $8 billion as a benchmark, the cost of our development, one participatory share of the company would cost $3.33, and the entire $1,000 package would cost nearly $400,000. Once again, all the figures are based on the forecast, and they are exemplified by that. This is not a guarantee. There could be less, but this is where we are going to. And this is the logical outcome of our company development. Once again, please be reminded about our products. The Rusich Immunobalsam. I'm showing it to all of you because I'm using it. There is another preparation which was one of our first ones. Our company started with that. This is again FREN, a targeted immunobiological preparation against cancer as well. All the information is available on our website. There is a composition to clean your body from the inside called lavage Matkevicha, and estromelanin, which is unrivaled, unsurpassed pharmaceutical with no side effects. Already enjoyed a lot of prizes and recognition from international researchers in the US, South Korea, and Japan. So basically, this is what I wanted to tell you. Once again, please be reminded that we are on the 8th investment stage. It is expiring soon. The process has started back in 2019, and we're now at the 8th investment round, and you can purchase our package in disbursement. The minimum payment is $25, so you may have 20 stages of investment per $25 each, and you can get bonus shares. This is important, and Sergey has provided a link to the Rusich market. So just keep those figures in your head, and keep the fact that this is your future investment, because this sector has been growing. I am ready to take your questions now. And you can also make money on our partnership program, but you know it as well. And now, please go ahead with your questions. Please write them in the chat, or you may have any proposals or suggestions. Now you can see the Rusich market link. This is a marketplace where you can buy the Rusich balsam, and there is another e-shop where you can buy all other products. Both shops have our partnership program. Please keep it in mind. So this is also a chance for investors not to wait for 2 investments a year, but you can get money from scratch. What is here? Again, very little figures. This is the venture capital investments, and this is this year's statistics, 2021. And as you can see, it's millions of worth of investments at different investment stages. Therefore, please feel yourself a little bit of Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, or Warren Buffett. Well, if there are no more questions, it's been a pleasure for me to present in front of you tonight. I wish you a good week. May all your dare dreams come true. And and be well, be healthy, wealthy, and wise for you and for your families. All the best, and until next.